The following presentation, presented by Nick Glusendorf, Joe Pizzo, Cody Mielfeld, and Matthew Buck, will provide an explanation and in-depth analysis on the civil forfeiture and its effects on the economy and the people in it. Before we observe the economic impact that civil forfeiture has, we first have to understand what it is. As shown below, the U.S. Department of Justice provides us with this definition. Criminal forfeiture is an act brought as a part of the criminal prosecution of a defendant. It is an in persona against the person action and requires that the government indict, charge, the property used or derived from the crime along with the defendant. If the jury finds the property forfeitable, the court issues an order of forfeiture. For forfeitures pursuant to the Controlled Substances Act, CSA, racketeer influence and corrupt organizations, RICO, as well as money laundering and obscenity statutes, there is an ancillary hearing for the third parties to assert their interest in the property. Once the interests of third parties are addressed, the court issues a final forfeiture order. What this means is that the court will determine if the property seized from a criminal was used in the criminal proceedings. If it is, that property now belongs to the government as opposed to the people.
Civil forfeiture was created under the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984, and it was part of Ronald Reagan's war on drugs. The original law was for items to be seized and the items be put on trial rather than the owners themselves fighting for their goods. And any money or other items seized from civil forfeiture could be used by the police for any related items they could think of. It was passed in hopes to be a deterrent against drugs. However, few police forces decided to abuse this, which led to Civil Asset Forfeiture Reform Act of 2000, and the Congress further made changes in 2015.
Civil forfeiture is used to supplement the budgets of police departments and is very important for these departments. Steve Westbrook, Executive Director of the Sheriff's Association of Texas, stated, "We all know the way things are right now. Budgets are tight. It's definitely a valuable asset to law enforcement for purchasing equipment and getting things you normally wouldn't be able to get to fight crime." Many officers agree with him, believing their department would collapse without these funds and important public safety measures would be lost.
Civil forfeiture and burglary are not related. As you can see from the graph, burglary dropped in the year 2014 as civil forfeiture skyrocketed over $5 billion, which is good for the economy, but it also could mean the police could be taking too much from people.
Although it has successfully seized profits from many major criminals such as drug cartels, the power is also being abused. There are many cases across the country where people have been accused of crimes but are proven innocent and still can't get their money or property back. Police officers and judges across the country agree that the power is being abused.
Even though there's a lot of controversy surrounding civil forfeiture, some things are not always that bad. In most cases, many police chiefs around the country say that it is effective, and they have seen a decrease in crime, and they actually use the laws for its purpose and use the money in an effective way. And some states have put laws into effect where the money will go back to the state government that gets used in programs that benefit victims of crimes.
Some police could be abusing civil forfeiture. Here is an example of a policeman using it in a bad way. A Mississippi police officer pulled over a man for a regular traffic stop in 2013. After the officers searched the man's car, they ended up finding $360,000 in cash in a secret compartment. Once the officer found the money, he ended up confiscating the money, even though there was no proof of the crime being made by the man. It could also be used in a helpful way too.
Since civil asset forfeiture was created in 1984, 1985 was the first year that we had data to show statistics on it, and it was claimed that $27 million were taken by police. Now, flash forward to 2013, where we have more recent data. It was estimated that $4.2 billion were taken by police, showing a significant increase in money that they were taking for themselves. This is somewhat beneficial because the police get to keep that money, so it's lower taxes on citizens and less we have to pay to fund the police. And this helps decrease crime. And according to Scott Erickson, crime affects the economy by placing a financial burden on taxpayers and governments because of increased needs for police, courts, and correction facilities, as well as intangible costs including psychological trauma and reduced quality of life for crime victims. By doing this, it has actually increased total economic value, and the decrease of crime has raised housing values and made certain areas more valuable to live in. And crime rates should drop during good economic times and rise during bad ones.